Hi everyone and welcome to VOX TV. My name is Michael Erayame and you're welcome to Healthy Living. On today's episode of Healthy Living, we'll be talking about prostate cancer. We understand it's okay that people say that not just the facial appearances of men make men alone. There are some other organs that could contribute to that decision. And on today's edition of Healthy Living, we'll be talking about one of those organs, and that organ is called the prostate. And today we'll be focusing on prostate cancer. In the house today, we have a doctor who will be doing justice to that topic. Welcome again, thank you. Right, in the house today, we have Dr. Uchefe Okemute. And on this edition of Healthy Living, he will be talking about prostate cancer. Welcome, Dr. Uchefe Okemute. It's actually nice to have you here this morning. Thank you very much. Doctor, can you please just tell us what prostate is and what prostatic cancer is about?
The prostate is an organ found only in males.
Okay.
And it's meant to provide materials that will transport the sperm during sexual intercourse.
Okay.
So that's its primary function.
Right.
So, and the materials that the sperm will require to survive whilst within the vaginal tract of the female.
Right.
So that's its primary purpose.
Right.
Prostatic cancer is, as the word cancer means, a destructive disease that has the ability to spread to other structures and arising from the prostate.
Right.
I hope I've answered the question.
Okay, yes. So it's safe to say that prostate is just found only in male,
Yes.
and not in male, because we understand that males and females share some kind of organs.
Yeah, similarities. There are structures
Okay.
in females that produce lubricants.
Okay.
That is the, let's say, the anatomical equivalent.
Okay.
To prostate.
Okay.
in females.
Okay. Okay. So, doctor, what are the signs and symptoms of prostatic cancer?
Prostatic cancer, or cancer of the prostate, so that our guests will
Understand.
our
Okay.
viewers will understand.
Very true.
Will may not manifest in the typical way one would expect it to. Sometimes it can manifest simply as back pain,
Wow.
a low back pain that increases intensity.
Wow.
So one will mistake that for arthritis in some persons.
Okay.
In some cases, it manifests like what we call benign prostatic hyperplasia.
Wow.
In benign prostatic hyperplasia, it's swelling, like swelling of the organ,
Okay.
the prostate, and gives symptoms, urinary symptoms such as problems with controlling urine, holding the urine. So some,
Okay, instead of
some men urinate on themselves.
wow.
Some urine scatters. So instead of it in a single stream, it scatters. Or in some cases, frequent urination. Those might be early signs.
Okay.
And then what can be a warning could be
Bleeding.
from the penis.
Okay.
And so some persons urinate blood. The challenge with that is that it can be a spread to the bladder. So spread of prostate to the bladder may give that
Okay.
impression. So
Okay.
it depends on how early the patient presents. In
Oh.
some cases, it go as far as even just swellings in the scalp,
Wow.
headaches, loss of consciousness, and that may just be the only way one can trace it to that this was the primary origin.
Wow.
So that's how some sadly present in many occasions.
Okay.
Especially in this part of the world where people don't seek
Medical attention now.
for health seeking.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You were talking about some of the symptoms which may not even kind of attribute to, because I understand that the prostate is maybe in the Is it in the pelvic region now?
Yes.
Okay.
Around the waist.
Around the waist region, right? So talking about back pain, headache, how would one want to know that, oh, this is prostatic cancer? You know, what are those things that one can do to check that, okay, I have, God forbid, I have prostatic cancer actually?
The American Cancer Society advocates that if a man should at least have his prostate checked once in a year.
Once in a year.
Once you are about 50 years of age.
Okay.
Because from that age group onwards, the frequency of or the risk
of prostatic cancer increases. Wow.
So if a patient presents, let me not say you, the patient presents to a doctor and is in that age group, it builds on the health professional to ask questions related to the urinary symptoms, because some of those urinary symptoms may have manifested a lot earlier.
Okay.
And the patient
may not be aware. Okay.
Until he begins to have some other symptoms that begin to be systemic.
Okay.
Such as I mentioned, the back pain. In some cases, even fractures. What we call pathological fractures, not due to accidents or a blow or other trauma.
Okay.
So that may be another way of suspecting that. Then persistent weight loss is common in those with cancer generally.
Okay, that's true.
Despite adequate diet, the person is losing this. It shows that something insidious is going on.
Okay.
So it now is in the interest of the doctor to help the patient by asking further questions and doing proper evaluation.
Okay. All right. Doctor, you talked about things like weight loss and so on and so forth, and you also said something about the predominance in males from 50 and above. What would you talk about the predisposing factors? What will really cause it? Because I quite understand that not everybody will come down with prostatic cancer. What do you think are those things that would make a particular male come down with prostatic cancer?
For cancers generally, we do not have clear-cut risk factors.
Okay.
That, or what would say, this is the primary cause
that can cause it. Okay.
For cancers generally. However, there are certain things we see common to most patients with this condition. Certain things. So commonly, smoking and alcoholism strongly associated with cancer.
Okay.
The same goes for
prostatic cancer. Wow.
Then there are some family traits.
Okay.
If you have a first degree relative, what do I mean by first degree relative? A father, a brother who has suffered prostatic cancer, chances of such happening in that individual increases. So those persons, even if they have not manifested any symptoms, should have regular checks.
Okay.
Then exposure to irradiation. What do I mean by exposure to irradiation? In some settings, like in the oil industry, in some other industries where irradiation is high.
The exposure to it.
And some kind of engineering fields, and those who work in nuclear plants, and those who eat food substances that may have been poisoned by heavy chemicals.
Okay.
You have to be careful with some of the food substances we import from abroad. Some of them are not of good quality.
By ways of preservation now.
By ways of preservation.
Okay.
So those increases the risk.
Okay.
And then poor dietary intake, lack of vitamins, eating fatty foods.
Wow.
Have also been strongly associated with cancer.
Okay. Okay.
So those are some of the risk factors.
All right. Okay, doctor. There is this ideology about cancer generally. People tend to believe that cancer are incurable. you know, when anybody comes down with cancer, they just feel, oh, this person cannot be cured. Doctor, what do you think? What do you think about prostatic cancer as it relates with it being cured or treated generally?
Thank you for that question. Cancer is still much an enigma to us in the
Health
sector, because we have not been able to tie completely that this person, individual A, will come down with cancer, and individual B will come down with cancer, even with the same set of exposures as it were. To say that cancers are incurable will be not totally correct.
Okay.
That would be partially
resolution. Okay.
The problem with curability of cancers is when they present. When they present, I'll give you an example of such a situation. Now, if an individual presents with just comes for his regular medical checkup, say as a 60-year-old man, and now has a routine prostate check done. So there's a specific test we typically ask them to call it the prostatic specific antigen, PSA.
The PSA, okay.
And you now see extremely high values.
Okay.
That will increase the suspicion. Now do further evaluation, you now see a small abnormal population of cells. You go in and you now do surgical removal of that, and it comes out to be cancer. And the patient does not manifest symptoms all the rest of his life. One would say that we have not cured that cancer. The answer would be we have. So the curability of any disease really, it depends on when the person presents.
Okay.
So if a patient presents with late symptoms, the chances of cure really reduces drastically.
So you're talking about what you're talking about now is the importance of early diagnosis now, or
early presentation.
Early presentation and diagnosis. Okay. So it is important that every young person or every male do routine checkups for cancer.
Once you are in that age group or you have that associated risk factor for certain conditions,
okay,
you really need to have
routine
checks. Because truly, prevention is a lot cheaper than
cure.
Okay. Especially for cancers. Cancers are very expensive to manage. We especially in this part of the world, we lose most of our patients to their inability to complete their treatment. Not because we can't
actually
achieve some level of control for it. Many times, by the time they spend so much on medications, they become financially ruined and can't proceed with their treatment, and they end up losing them. So once maybe for example, I may hear that an uncle has come down with prostatic cancer, God forbid, I will of course know that once I'm 50,
you should probably
checking myself for certain disease conditions.
Okay.
Prevalent in the family.
Okay.
You need to do that regularly. It's cheaper.
True.
Than having to now have a cure. So it's one of the ways I encourage patients is to try and key into the various health insurance schemes that the federal government and state governments are pushing. It will help with even reducing the cost for them.
So talking about prevention, what would be your advice to males as it comes to prostatic cancer? What would you advise every young man to do or every old man to do?
The advice would be generally for everybody.
Yes, okay.
A healthy lifestyle is important.
Oh, wow. And that's actually the what we are here about. Yeah, healthy living.
A healthy lifestyle is very important. There's really no glory in being a chain smoker or being a chronic alcoholic. There's really no benefits to it. We should be encouraged to try and exercise.
Exercise.
At least if you are in busy type, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in a day, doing chores, and not seeking to make your life quote unquote very easy. Walk within your environment. You can take short walks. You can go jogging, especially when you feel it's safe to go jogging. You can join a club. You can train with others just because you want to have physically fit. Go to the stadium. Drink plenty of water. Less of alcoholic drinks, less of fatty
Foods.
They really don't help in the long term.
True. Sorry, doctor. I was laughing when you were saying.
Then one last thing which will surprise some of your viewers is a healthy sexual lifestyle. A healthy sexual lifestyle helps.
Okay.
Regular sexual intercourse with your partner.
Okay.
Helps, has been found to be more helpful than going from A to B. You're not using preventive measures.
Yeah.
They predispose the body to having and to allowing some of these cancers to manifest.
Alright. Okay. Wow. I was saying, I was laughing when you're talking about regular exercise. You know, in this part of our world, especially in Nigeria, where we have issues with time. You just wake up in the morning, you're just doing your routines every day, and you don't really have time for those exercises. And what would you advise? You know, it's really hard to survive in this country. First, then you want us to now add exercises and so on and so forth. What would be your advice?
Okay, I'll give myself an example. What I try to do in the morning, say around 5 a.m. I try as really morning to do 10-15 minutes
of exercise. Wow.
It's how regular, not how intense.
True.
Because
wow.
What most people mistake is intensity. It's not necessarily so.
Okay.
It's the frequency.
The consistency.
Of your exercise.
Okay.
It's important. And you do it according to your weight capacity.
Right.
And your heart capacity. You know, some persons have heart conditions.
True.
So by the time you begin to feel your heart pounding, you know you've achieved
11. Okay.
So 15 minutes.
Okay.
On Saturdays 7 to 8. I just prime that time.
Okay.
You know, really, there's no time for anything. You just have to create it
yourself.
For yourself.
It's a priority.
As a priority.
Okay.
If it's a priority for you, there will be time.
Okay.
Really.
All right.
Most of us won't be called by our bosses or have to go to work at 5 a.m. Nobody come buying
True.
shops at 5 a.m. So 5 a.m.
Great time.
Just to create that time. As you can even set it as an alarm. And luckily we are in the modern age. Many phones are smartphones. They have applications that even give free
that help you. Yes.
That help you. Free cardiovascular exercise and all that really will benefit you. 10-15 minutes and you are good.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you. So people, sadly we've come to the end of today's show. Doctor, thank you so much for all the insights. And so we've had it, today we talked about prostatic cancer and you've all had what we should do. There's a general rule to everyone: check. It is important you do your routine checkups, you keep a healthy lifestyle, you desist from smoking, you desist from alcoholism and so on and so forth. Our doctor has said it all today and we really want to appreciate you for watching. Thank you so much for joining us in today's episode, and until next time, again, my name remains Michael Irayame.